Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Dave Chappelle, in spite of his worldwide comedic distinction, is essentially Dave to his better half, Elaine. His advancement accompanied the hugely famous funny TV show Chappelle's Show, which launched him to global acknowledgment somewhere in the range of 2003 and 2005. While the initial 2 seasons were generally effective, the expected third season never emerged because of Chappelle's unforeseen takeoff in a notable move. Chappelle left the show, abandoning a faltering $50 million check and breaking his agreement with Good Times TV. His disappointment with the show's bearing and a requirement for a break were referred to as the reasons behind his sudden exit in 2006, all through this urgent period in his vocation. Elaine has been a steady presence and a strong figure, so who is she and how could they meet? This is what we are familiar with. Dave Chappelle and Elaine Mendoza F. Chappelle, his long-lasting adoration, who is Dave Chappelle's better half Elaine Mendoza F., the wife of Dave Chappelle, was brought into the world on August 31, 1974. While little is known of her initial life, Chappelle has shared a couple of subtleties in interviews. She was brought up in Brooklyn and is of Filipino descent, despite the fact that she doesn't address gig Chappelle and Elaine got hitched around a similar time. She brought forth their most memorable kid. The couple married in 2001 and have 3 youngsters together, Salaman and Ibrahim, and a girl child, regardless of investing most of their energy in Yellow Springs, Ohio. Elaine would frequently go with Dave on longer gigs right off the bat in their marriage. Elaine is known for wildly safeguarding her security and her better half's prosperity. Chappelle has referenced that she keeps him informed about open responses to his work in a 2017 appearance on New York radio broadcast, Blistering 97. Chappelle referenced my significant other on the off chance that it gets genuine terrible. She'll tell me like, gracious, you ought to investigate this. Yet generally, I make an effort not to focus on it since you would rather not be cautious as a comic. I attempt to keep my business sufficiently small so it can, in any case, be legitimate enough. Dave and Elaine have been married for more than 20 years. Dave Chappelle and Elaine have celebrated more than 20 years of marriage, remaining by one another through various challenges. Dave recognizes Elaine as the ideal accomplice who's been with him through both the great and terrible times in a meeting on the Howard Harsh Show. Dave shared that Elaine can be forthright with him, even about testing subjects given their common history. He stressed that she was there for him during seasons of monetary battle and trusts her judgment, particularly with regards to exploring the difficulties that emerge in his vocation as an entertainer. How could they met during a meeting with Howard Harsh in the mid-2000s? Dave Chappelle uncovered that he met his then-sweetheart Elaine Mendoza in Brooklyn, and at the time he said she was pregnant. With his child, he said that he was promptly intrigued by her, yet she carved out opportunity to get to realize Dave prior to focusing on the relationship. He additionally uncovered that she was Filipino, which drove Harsh and his co-have Robin Quivers to poke some disagreeable fun at Asian stare. Generalizations. Up until this point, Dave Chappelle had been a customary visitor on Harsh's show and, surprisingly, credited the openness Harsh gave him with aiding his profession. After they poked those supposed fun at the future Elaine Chappelle, he has ceaselessly declined to at any point show up on Harsh show once more. However, he openly says this is on the grounds that the show tapes too soon toward the beginning of the day. It seems like he's showing where his loyalties lie with his significant other Elaine Chappelle. She didn't realize Dave was going to South Africa in 2005. Dave broadly, unexpectedly left the 3rd time of his hit sketch parody series, Chappelle's Show, and escaped to South Africa, turning down a $50 million arrangement in the process during a 2006 appearance on Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Dave kidded about his better half's response to him turning down the agreement. My significant other's still somewhat pungent at me. He said she's not distraught at me yet. Don't believe you will leave $50 million, and your significant other's about to be cool with that. He later conversed with Oprah Winfrey about his choice to leave one. I wanted a break. He reviewed too. We have loved ones down there. I felt like it was where I could truly reflect, and here's the other thing. I was just away for about 14 days. They made it sound like it was so baffling. He likewise shared that he didn't call Elaine before he left. It wasn't so much that I didn't tell my better half. He said it was more similar to, I'm not telling her until after I'm gone, which was a misstep, yet it was anything but an insane mix-up. Dave and Elaine are of various ethnic foundations. Dave Chappelle, who is of African-American descent, hails from a recognized genealogy. His dad, William David Chappell III, was a teacher at Antioch School, a confidential human sciences establishment. His mom, Ivan Child, is a teacher gaining practical experience in African examinations and returning further. Dave's extraordinary granddad, William David Chappell, was an exceptional figure, a previous slave who rose to unmistakable quality as an educationalist. Then again, Elaine, Dave's significant other, is of Filipino descent. Her folks moved to the U.S. from the Philippines. Currently, before her introduction to the world, the couple's association unites different and similarly entrancing social foundations, without a doubt, adding to the rich embroidery of legacy for their 3 kids. It was all-consuming, instant adoration for Dave Chappelle. Elaine is a striking lady, and it's nothing unexpected that Dave Chappelle was quickly spellbound by her when they initially met, describing their presentation in Brooklyn, New York. During a meeting with Howard Harsh, Chappelle communicated uneasiness while excusing Harsh's unrefined suppositions about his delightful wife. Chappelle has referenced that he won't get back to Harsh's show. However, the specific purposes behind this choice remain mind-boggling and not entirely clear in the good old days, regardless of Chappelle being stricken. Elaine wasn't at first as intrigued. It required some investment for her to warm up to Chappelle's character, yet the remainder of their romantic tale has unfolded flawlessly from that point forward. Elaine Chappelle is a confidential individual, dissimilar to numerous superstars. Elaine keeps a confidential Instagram account with a couple of devotees, and she savagely monitors her own life in our current reality, where big names and their complications frequently overshare via virtual entertainment, giving insights regarding their day-to-day routines, diets, and more. Elaine stands out as a peculiarity because of her outrageous protection. The main look into her online entertainment presence comes from her Instagram bio, which includes a statement from Eleanor Roosevelt. "Others' thought processes of me are not my concern." This statement mirrors her obligation to keep up with her security and not be excessively worried about general sentiments. Dave and Elaine Chappelle focus on family over cash. In a meeting with Time, Chappelle talked about moving to Ohio and leaving his show, expressing that coming here, "I don't have the interruptions of acclaim. It calms the self-image down. I'm keen on the sort of individual I must become. I need to be balanced, and the business is a position of limits. I need to be even. I must check my expectations." Man, there were a lot of hypotheses during this time in Chappelle's life. Fans couldn't understand the possibility that he'd leave his well-known and fruitful show, and $50 million individuals figured he should have a medication or liquor issue. Others thought it was a psychological well-being issue that drove Dave Chappelle to leave it all that wasn't true at all, basically reprioritized his life in a manner that was better for him as well as his family through the media bazaar that followed. Dave Chappelle's better half, Elaine Mendoza, remained by him. Dave and Elaine have been married for quite a while. They secured the bunch in 2001 and have 2 children. Son Ibrahim and 1 little girl child. Elaine is Dave Chappelle's emotionally supportive network. Dave and Elaine Chappelle share a vigorous and getting through marriage that has outperformed 20 years. Dave regularly communicates the fundamental job his significant other plays as a wellspring of unflinching help, all through the different phases of his profession. He highlights her presence during seasons of monetary battle, underscoring her obligation to him in any event. When he confronts difficulties for a VIP like Dave Chappelle, having a relentlessly emotionally supportive network is pivotal given the examination and analysis from fans and the media. Elaine has remained by Dave through tempestuous periods in his profession. For example, his choice to leave Chappelle's show and the debates encompassing his stand-up schedules. Dave values Elaine's remarkable viewpoint, recognizing her job and offering direction during testing circumstances. He values her trustworthiness, referencing that, assuming that circumstances become difficult, she gives productive criticism, encouraging him to use the most proficient method to resolve specific issues in spite of the intrinsic difficulties of being a comic in the public eye. Dave endeavors to keep up with credibility in his work, keeping his business sufficiently small to safeguard the certifiable idea of his art. The choice to forego a rewarding $50 million arrangement with Funny TV bringing about the finish of Chappelle's show wasn't without its effect on their relationship. Dave hilariously noticed that his better half is a little pungent about the choice, featuring that such huge profession moves aren't trifled with inside their organization. Chappelle's perseverance through marriage reflects strength, shared help, and a promise to validity despite the difficulties related to popularity. Dave and Elaine Chappelle have 3 youngsters. The Chappelles have 3 kids: Salaman, who was brought into the world in 2001, Ibrahim, who was brought into the world in 2003, and Sunil, who was brought into the world in 2009. Regardless of their renowned dad, every one of the three children keeps up with low profiles and a negligible presence via web-based entertainment in 2019. Thanks for watching this video.